So how do you survive a recession when your clients and prospects are slashing their budgets? Unfortunately, creative projects are usually the first on the chopping block. And a lot of designers will wait until the economy takes a downturn before they start building out their survival plan.
I don't even have a plan.
After 15 years of being a designer and animator and also coaching other designers, I've learned that you need to be proactive when it comes to your business. So you need to start with a solid strategy. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that I'm doing right now to recession-proof my business, and I hope that you will do too. I'll also break down the data that you need to create a realistic strategy. If you create a data-driven plan, you won't have to pinch pennies for your heating. Instead, you'll be on your way to a thriving business even in a recession. Just a quick disclaimer, this isn't financial advice, and I always recommend that you speak to an accountant or a financial professional in your country. The first thing that you need to do is spend some quality time with your expenses so you actually can understand where your money is going. So before we start gathering all your expenses, what I want you to do is download this spreadsheet. The link will be below the video in the description, and then you're just going to go to File and you're going to make a copy of it. So that's what you need to do first. Then what we're going to do is we're going to gather our bank statements from the last 3 months, and we're going to add in here every single expense that we might have. So you want to put all the expenses down here, and then it adds them up in the top total here, so you can see how much you spend each month. Or I know that sometimes it might be annual subscription, so you can write monthly or annual in here. And if you would like to, you can actually create another column in the spreadsheet, and you can list everything from all 3 months so that you can see more easily. And then what you're going to say is, am I going to keep this or am I going to cancel it? So if maybe you've decided that you want to cancel this plugin, so you just write a little N there for no. And then once you've cancelled that plugin, what I want you to do is go to the cancel column, and I want you to put in the number there, because then what that is going to do is going to add that number to the top of this cancel column. And then this is really nice because you can see how much you've saved by doing this exercise. After you've reduced your business expenses, what you're going to do is then look at your personal expenses, because this will help you to know how much money you need to make each month. The amount that you need to cover those types of expenses is what I call your baseline. Knowing this number can be really helpful because it means that you won't have to worry about and not know how much money you need to make it till the end of the month. So what you're going to do is you're going to list down here all of the expenses that you have in your personal life. So things like rent and mortgage, food and water, and also maybe new jumpers, because, you know,
winter is coming.
So I might add something like TV subscriptions, and then you can see that it's going to add it all up for you here. And then this is the amount of money that you need each month for your personal expenses. So this can be really helpful. And also, if you would like to, you can do an audit of your personal expenses, and maybe you want to cancel some of your subscriptions and things like that you no longer need. Your expense audit and also your baseline income will help you to figure out how much money you need to make each month. But next, we're going to figure out if you can actually make this much, and we're going to stress test your business to see what would happen if things go wrong, and we're going to help you to build out a financial forecast. So what you want to do first is put your goal for how much you want to make each year in this top line. Then what you're going to do is you're going to figure out the average you make each month and then put it in here. You might see that sometimes in the summer, for example, or maybe in January, you make a little bit less than the rest of the year. So you're just going to put in roughly what you make each month. I know it's difficult to work out, but if you look over the past 3 to 6 months of your bank statements and think about how many days ideally you would work and times that by your day rate, you should be able to put a number in here. You might also look at what are the income streams you have and add them in here. And then this is going to be your total income. So moving down in the spreadsheet, you have your total expenses here, and these might vary over the months. So you can add these in and you can just delete some income in here if you don't have some of these for every month. So this is going to work out your total for each month as well, which is really, really good. So then you can work out roughly your tax here. I've done this line in here as 20%, but you need to figure out what the tax is where you live, and you need to adjust this number in here. So if you go in here, you can do, 30% if you want, just by changing that to 0.3 instead of 0.2. So then this will help you to work out the remaining balance after that, and then you're going to take out your owner's pay. So your baseline will help you to figure out what you need to pay yourself, and you can add that in here. Then the next line is going to be how much profit you make each month. So your profit will be your balance minus your owner's pay, which is what you pay yourself. So that's how much you have left over in your bank account each month. What you want to do at the start of the year is put the amount of money that you have in your bank account, because then what this is going to do is it's going to have your running balance. So it'll be the amount of money and then plus or minus whatever the profit is. And then the next month, the amount of money plus or minus whatever the profit is there. So what happens is, even if you're minus in your profit, which I put these down quite a lot at the top, you can see that this is actually eating into your running balance. But then if we go back to the top and we say, okay, you know what? We figured out how to make more money, how to get more clients and things like that. Then if you pull that across, what you're going to see on the bottom is your running balance is actually going up, which is really what we want. If you want to find more clients to help your income line go up, then I recommend taking our free course to help you to get your next client in just 5 days. The link will be below this video in the description. So how you stress test your business is you put in what would happen if your income goes down significantly. So we've put 2 grand here. So then we can look at the numbers. And if we go down, we can see that this is coming out minus, minus, minus. So then you can see at the bottom, you're obviously eating into your running balance, and your running balance is going down. But this is really helpful because you can stress test different scenarios, and then you can go in and say, okay, well, do we need to reduce some of our expenses even more? It's really good to stress test your business and think about how you can prevent loss of income. So for example, if a lot of your clients are in the same niche and you think that their need for animation or design is going to go down over the next few months, think about where you could get other clients where maybe it's a growing area and they're going to need more marketing, more design and animation. You could also look into selling products online and making some passive income. Now, passive income is a little bit of a myth. It's never always completely passive. You usually have to market products. If you'd like me to make a video about passive income and how you can diversify your income streams, then leave me a comment below this video. I would also think about scenarios when doing this, like what if your clients don't pay you for 90 days? Can you get 50% of the project fee up front to help you with your cash flow? Now, without knowing what's going to happen over the coming months, I recommend that you try and build a runway. Now, a runway is the amount of time you have before you run out of money. The best way to do this is to set a pot aside with 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund. And to find out how much should be in that pot, you can use your baseline and your expenses, which we worked out earlier. And to build up this runway, you can use the profit first model. So what is profit first and how can you use it? So unfortunately, most businesses don't actually make any profit, but there is a way to guarantee that you will make some profit and build a runway into your business. So in his book, Profit First, Mike Michalowicz says that what we usually do is bank balance accounting. So what is it and why shouldn't we be doing it? Well, when we do bank balance accounting, what we usually do is we just look at our bank balance and decide what we can afford to spend on things. The bad thing about doing this is you're not actually taking into account what you need to pay for, like expenses, taxes, profit, or even what you pay yourself. In his book, Profit First, Mike Michalowicz explains that you should break these categories up into different pots of money. So what might this look like? Well, you could put 20% away for tax, and you need to check in your country how much you should be paying for tax, and you need to take this into account here. Then you could potentially put 5% away for profit and 25% away for expenses, leaving you with 50% to pay yourself. Obviously, these numbers are just an example, and I recommend you read the book and also get yourself a profit first accountant to make sure that it will work for you. So now when you look at your bank accounts and the pots within your bank account, you can actually see the profit that you make in your business. So usually it's up to you what you do with this profit, but make sure you do check with your accountant. Usually I like to reinvest it into the business to learn new things and also build up a runway for the business when things might get a little bit tough. So when you do an expense audit, work out your baseline, stress test your business and think profit first. This can really help you to survive a recession. And in general, it's just good business practice anyway. So let me know in the comments if you're going to do any of these exercises, and we'll put a link for you to download all of the exercises. The link will be below this video in the description. Another way to recession-proof your business is, of course, to make more money. And the best way to do that is to raise your rates. So if you want to find out in just 8 minutes how I raise my rates every single year, then you can watch this video next.